Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Curse of the Vampire Coast, where we are slowly turning Ulthuan the color that it was always meant to be. It's taken some effort. There's a non-zero amount of effort. Alright, let's real quick here knock out this rebellion. This should be pretty easy. Unfortunately, they have enough units that I bet it's going to make me manually resolve it to not lose anything. Nope, never mind. Balance of power bar massively in my favor. Yeah, this is not a very good army overall. These poor Cairn Wraiths, like, this is their whole gimmick. 75% physical resist. Just absolute garbage against Silostra's army. Alright, well, I'm happy to have been able to burn through that without having to do it manually, because that would have been a very, very easy battle. Alright, so, Mulwyn von Drack, you remember this. Normally I wouldn't tell enemies that I just killed to remember what happened, but you know that guy's gonna be back. Very difficult to put any of us down permanently. Alright, we really do not have a ton of cash.
Fleet Captain, reporting.
Alright, you are headed in the general direction of, you know, over here. Who are you? Oh, it's Ashok the Bloody. We know that guy. Burke and his friend just need to keep pushing. Burke and Robin. One day I'll remember your name, Robin. Well, I don't know that it particularly matters who... Oh, you know what? We should have Robin actually do the attack here, because we want the XP. I gotta get Robin up to level 5 as quickly as possible. I don't think we should have to manually resolve a 40 versus 7. Yeah, I think that's pretty under control. The bloated corpses will blow themselves up, which I would not probably have done here, but whatever.
This is pirate land now.
You know, he says this is pirate land now. I might argue that it was always pirate land. They just didn't know it.
Get moving.
Alright, we'll stop right on our side of the line here, and I guess dig for treasure? Okay, just in case we're in one of the spots. So... got these Mourngul Haunters leveling up rapidly, which I really appreciate. We should probably cap out Assassinate in case we need to run that dude back out on the world map, but for right now, hanging out in this army is probably the best way for him to continue gathering XP.
Ready.
You need just a single level. As much as I like Ghost Fleet, and I do like it, I think maybe capping out Invocation of Nahak and getting Curse of Undeath is more important. It really is a tremendous amount of healing in a battle. Oh. Oh yeah, giant crabs. It's a shame that the giant crabby units themselves aren't a little better. I will just get a rifle to replace it. Oh boy. Maybe this army is too ranged heavy, I don't know. It's quite a lot of rifles. Alright, what else? How are we doing on public order now? Oh, also... no, next turn is the turn. Okay. How are we doing on public order? Seen a lot of green arrows. Happy about that. Oh, right. Yeah. Of course, this region's going to be unhappy. We just started a lot of fires here. Definitely don't need a melee recruitment building. I think we're going to be okay here. So that means that we actually have a little bit of money to use for building stuff that matters, since we seem to have gotten our public order largely under control. What is that? What is the stuff that matters? I guess it... well, it could be saving up for Silostra's Balcony. Although, Silostra's Balcony, we're still 8 turns off of having the population to build it. We could upgrade Burke Black's ship, maybe. Yeah, he has the population to install a thing. Do we want to give him a recruitment building? Or do we want to go for some green line stuff like movement range and... you know, improved casualty replenishment rate headed toward the Necrofex Colossus just as fast as we can probably is not a bad idea. Although he really can't recruit stuff very well. If we installed the Cyrene building, he does have the cabin level to get it up to Cyrene recruitment. That's probably what we want. Which means we actually have to wait until next turn to start that. there's a lot to be said for extra replenishment rate. You know what? Let's do this. Let's take that. That's a pretty good upgrade. All right, I think that our little pirate empire is really coming together here. So the White Tower has a treasure building. We have treasure buildings in most provinces now, the major settlements of most provinces. This province really needs to grow before we go installing stuff like that. And you probably need to hire some units. Oh, you know what? We don't have artillery. We should probably get some artillery. And I have enough money to put 2 artillery in the tank here, and then we'll also recruit a siren. Not really saving up a lot of money here, but who needs it? Who needs to save money? At some point, I would like to switch these provinces over off of Share the Spoils onto, like... you know what? Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't matter. Really, the only place where we care about growth anymore is Etain anyway. We are 9 turns away from having enough population to do this upgrade. Once we've done that, then we have to put together the money for the Opera House, and, you know, our troubles are not at an end yet. So now the question is, does Silostra continue forward, looking to push down this side of the continent, or does she sit here for a turn or two, recruit a Necrofex Colossus, and then take this gate? I kind of want to take out the rest of the coast, especially Tor Anrock has a gold mine. I don't really want the elves having access to that. They don't. We don't really get that much money from it, but they will. Well, I guess it's a decision we can make once we have seen what the enemy is going to do with their turns. They may answer this for us. Oh, right, I totally forgot I was going to install a cove in Bordello. Well, we don't have anywhere near enough money to do that right now. Nope, Tyrion has rejoined that army and immediately ridden out in a way that I'm not sure I understand. I get that he's Tyrion and he's a great fighter and he's backed by a bunch of great fighters, but didn't he just hurl himself against 30 units? Like, I don't think sieging that city is actually a good idea for him. He doesn't have any backup. That might... Sometimes when the AI views itself as being behind by enough in a war and sort of hurls itself suicidally at you, I think the idea here is to just get it over with. This is a behavior that the developers have added so that if somebody is way, way behind you, you don't have to, like, track them down and hunt them to the ends of the earth, which I appreciate. That's the only reason I can think of that he might attack Val's Anvil with that large of an army sitting in it. Very strange. Well, if the elves are just giving up, that's certainly going to make my life easier. So, getting our initial area solidified such that we could afford to... We had an economic base capable of launching the attack on Ulthuan was like phase 1 of the campaign. Conquering all of Ulthuan is phase 2 of the campaign. We're headed toward the end of that. Phase 3 of the campaign will be collecting enough major settlements to satisfy the final major victory objective. That part I really have no idea how we're going to do. I do not have a plan. Maybe we'll go fight some Dark Elves or something. So I'm thinking we could go over here. There's a bunch of those important cities clustered over here, but we're going to involve ourselves in all of this nonsense and intrigue if we do that. It might be easier just to go up and to the left, where I'm pretty sure there's only Dark Elves. I don't know. We'll see. So the rights of the Bountiful Treasure are available, and we will definitely be pressing that button. That's quite a lot of money at this point. Yeah, that was pretty good. So we could establish the Pirate Cove in Bordello with all of that money. It would increase our income by over 900 gold per turn. So that pays itself off pretty quickly. I think let's do that.
Aim for their sword. My skills.
Get this cove up, and then in the cove slot, Build a Picaroon's hideout.
Fleet captain.
And then, I don't know what to do with you. Yes, the wound ability. Not that I expect that she's going to be wounding anybody, but at least she could now if I had to. Alright, you, I don't know what I'm doing with you yet. Let's have a quick look at this situation. So Val's Anvil, okay, Val's Anvil only has a garrison of 9.
Vampire of the waves.
So Tyrion has thrown his 12 units up against
Landfolk are weak.
26 of our own. I mean,
No.
his units are a lot better than mine. There's no two ways about that. What exactly is the garrison here? Depth Guard, polearms, sirens, 3 units of handgunners, and yeah, okay, so some garbage.
I have sailed the world.
Well, we could wait for help, but I don't know that help is coming. Right, all of our other armies are elsewhere and pretty busy, I think.
Fall in, deckhands. Corsair of the night.
So I'm gonna have Robin Brown just run over here and knock these guys out.
About time.
Let's have Burke
Swiftly now.
show up here. Reinforcement.
All guns on deck. Orders.
We'll take out Tor Sarwar, and then we'll run Burke down toward Ghyll'n Vale.
Death holds no fear.
Did you know I am the one with the most infamy? Actually, I saw the little arrow there, and I was like, of course I'm first. But actually, Carla Lothreef is really pushing it. I have no idea who that is. It's weird that he doesn't even have an icon. Huh.
Blood kiss of the sea.
Okay, apparently we can't quite get over here to
Deckhands, forward.
start the siege, but we can go next to this terrifying fauna and then dig. Apparently that was it. Yep. While the flora of the world is exquisite in its danger and beauty, it is always the fauna that poses the greatest threat. It was talking about these horses, these very good horses. Weird. So we got ourselves a Tormentor Sword, which lowers the melee attack of enemies around the user for 9 seconds. It's okay. And 2,000 gold.
Admiral of the fleet.
That does remind me that I had forgotten to go through my gear and make sure everybody had reasonable equipment. So what are we going to do with you? We're not really doing a lot of raiding lately. We're kind of taking stuff over. I'm just going to get Smuggler, because campaign movement range is always good.
What is your demand?
And you have hit level 5, which is awesome. We're definitely going to cap out... Ooh, actually, should I cap out Invocation before Hunger? Yeah, we can just hold him back if it comes to that. And he gets to take up the office of Fleet Treasurer. Array income from all buildings. Okay, we're doing well on money. Remember, the money from the Cove won't appear until the beginning of Bretonia's turn, so we're actually making about 5k per turn now again, which is lovely. Wow, there are 2 different dragons in the garrison at Ghyll'n Vale. That's going to be something. We're going to have to bring all 40 of our units on that one. Let's get some scurvy dog pits installed, probably. Weird. It's just, that's very much not what I was expecting that that treasure hunt to be. Alright, I'm glad Burke has the extra replenishment, but unfortunately not in full effect over here. You know, we could have Silostra just threaten the gate this turn and then actually hit it with all of these units next turn. Maybe that's how we take the gate. Yeah, maybe. Do I have anything else I can do this turn? Stuff that we can just finish real quick here while I'm thinking. Do this, certainly. Wow, look at that. That is a big old dragon skull. Is this... I wonder if this island is a lore thing, because it's not one of those randomly spawning searchables. It doesn't get the mouse over. It's just a big, weird dragon skull island. What do I want to do with Silostra? I really, really want to get a Necrofex Colossus. I'm willing to play a little bit non-optimally to get a Necrofex Colossus active. I think that's what we're doing. Let's drop a unit of ranged from this army, and I mean, it has to be the deck gunners, right? They're not powerful enough, I think, to warrant the small unit size, the relatively small amount of damage that they deal relative to the big gunners. So I'm going to move to right here. We're going to stay on my side of the line. We're going to dig for treasure. Nope, okay. And then we're going to kick you out of my army. We are going to get this Colossus. Where is it? Oh, you know what? I probably don't have the money to start recruitment of a Colossus this turn. 1530. Okay, I will unbuild a building. We are getting this Colossus. It's happening. I have strong feelings about it. Okay. Because it's Silastra's army that needs the Colossus, right? Well, you know what? Once she has one, she can pass it off to somebody else and then get another one. So, progress is being made more rapidly now. I do like having level 2 ranged buildings dotting the island so that we have easy gunnery mob recruitment. And here, I don't think things are going to get any better. Nobody's going to show up to save us. Why is public order increasing by so much? We still have quite a bit of crackdown from finishing off that rebellion army. The thing is, I don't think things are going to get any better for us, but it's going to be a long time before we start taking any siege damage. And I want Tyrion to be tied up as long as possible. If we went... He can't recruit while he's in muster. Well, he can't muster while he's sieging. I mean, no recruitment. And if we were to attack him here and lose, he would immediately go to Lothern. Lothern's got a pretty good garrison, but you know what? I think it's actually just fine for us to keep him right here. If he attacks, we have the advantage of the wall, and if he doesn't attack, we have the advantage of him just sitting there not doing anything. So yeah, let's let's go over our combat units and make sure they are reasonably equipped. Starting with Silastra. Does Silastra need almost anything? Not really. In fact, I don't think she needs this. This might be better off on somebody else. So I will feel comfortable taking that from her if we need to. We can't put down the sword. Not that I would. Talisman of Protection is very funny on her. This thing is not, not really doing anything. Lowering the armor and melee defense of flying units. You know what? I guess she runs into dragons and stuff a lot. Maybe that's okay for her to have. This is cool on her. Obviously, we want to keep that. We don't really have a lot of followers. Yeah, we've acquired very few crewmen. I think this stuff's all fine. Wait, hey, I have Robert selected. Having a very hard time selecting. Okay, we can open his panel from here. Very hard time keeping Robert selected. He's got himself a Sword of Bloodshed, which is perfectly reasonable. Giving Robert additional ward save is cool, but we must remember that he's one of the people who probably needs it the least, right? So maybe he doesn't need armor. He's doing just fine without it. We could give him some other stuff, but again, like... I probably don't want him fighting flying units in general, because a lot of them have magic damage, and we're fighting dragons and stuff. So what of these items would be best for him to have? The Potion of Foolhardiness is kind of fine. He already causes fear and terror, so there's no sense in giving him this. This might not be bad. Yeah, I kind of like that. He can pop his Potion of Strength as he approaches the enemy. Will the Treacherous, unfortunately, probably... Yeah, probably we don't have a lot of stuff that is relevant to him. Because remember, Weapon Strength affects your melee attacks. We could give him a Shrieking Blade. We could lower the weapon damage of enemies around him, I guess? For when enemies get in on him, but I'd rather have this on a melee person as well. Yeah, he doesn't need items. He's doing fine. We don't have any loose crew to assign him or anything. Alright. Over here, this is where we need to make sure we have combat-relevant stuff. The Trickster's Helm on Burke is great. A Relic Sword on Burke could be better. Actually, the Sword of Strife is just straight up better. He already causes both... He already causes fear. He does not cause terror naturally. So the Shrieking Blade has some value on him, and it would allow him to chop through things with significant physical defense. But I may just want to buff his combat stats, right? Or melee attack is a pretty good thing. This Opal Amulet with the ward save on it is fine. I'd rather he have something that's just flat ward save, but it'll do.
Blood and plunder.
Henry Aldo probably does not have any gear on at all. Never mind. Henry Aldo is outfitted. That's right. He's been around for a while. Jim Anderoft is a little bit... Hold on. Jim Anderoft, you can wait. Peggy Rains, who is about to have to fight Tyrion, should probably get some good stuff. Let's give her some of that good stuff. Warrior Bane is interesting. I kind of want... I think Shrieking Blade is good for her. Give her the ability to cause terror. Fire Resistance is probably not super relevant. I guess she can have the Kraken Tusk. She needs help more than the rest of us do. She can also have... the ability to shoot fireballs at people. That seems okay. She is low level and in a dangerous situation. She gets the good gear. And then, like, yeah, we'll give you Tormentor Sword. You're kind of a wade-in sort of lord. You can be fireproof. We're going to be fighting some number of dragons, so we have to care about that a little bit. As a caster, you have access to some pretty good stuff here. I actually think it might be a good idea to pick up an Earthing Rod on him. There is always the danger of a miscast with these overcast Invocations of Nehek, so probably worth thinking about. All right, I feel a lot better now. We actually have some of our equipment distributed. Lenny Sealegs is not necessarily going to be staying in the... Man, you're gross. Done with you. Done with you. I can't handle you anymore. Yeah, okay. I think we're good. I think we've distributed the stuff that needed distributed. The people who needed help have gotten help. And now we are cool to pass the turn. So 2 turns until we have our terrifying Necrofex Colossus. 2 turns until Silostra's army is even more of a problem. We could recruit another lord in Lothern and just recruit a bunch of garbage units into his army as fast as possible and send him over to help clear Tyrion. Now that might be worth doing. It's possible. Seems like the Dreadfleet is having some problems. I noticed that the red on their balance of power bar is completely gone, so that means that they currently have no armies. I think they have that weird settlement out in the middle of the ocean, though, right? I think that is a difficult thing to conquer. Probably they're not in any real danger. They got a little over-aggressive somewhere and lost their expeditionary force. But somebody would have to sail all the way out into the middle of the ocean to wipe them out, so it probably won't happen. So we know there is a second elf army over here somewhere, I believe. I really wish you could move the camera around when it wasn't your turn. Reinforcing Bordello, terrified of the harm that our lone pirate might inflict. I think there is another elf army over here, but Lothern as a force is not long for this world, except that we know they have the Loremaster territory, which is, I don't know, somewhere over here. Hopefully we'll have eyes on that part of the map in the next couple of turns. Part of Phase 3, where we're going out and conquering the world, is that we can finally take out some of these Regiment of Renown navies. We've been very, very busy. Oh, what is this? Word is spreading across the land of a dark power rising in the northern wastes. The armies of chaos are on the move. They surely plan to invade the world of mortals once again. That sounds like a real somebody else kind of problem there, buddy. This again. So, do we want melee attack and armor up for all of our infantry, or range and reload time reduction for all of our missile infantry? Obviously. Oh no, apparently we actually have to care about this. These guys are at war with me. Dire tidings from the north. The tendrils of chaos writhe and reach out from the accursed wastes, tainting the land and sowing dissent. Their corrupt forces wax ever stronger, and now their agents are abroad, spreading the foul corruption of their malign gods. On their heels come bands of marauding warriors led by the most zealous of the Chaos Lords, eager to wreak destruction in the name of the ruinous powers. And all the while ever more warriors flock to some focal point in the Chaos Wastes, a nexus of power which transcends their petty rivalries, and impels them to join with the numberless horde. Doom approaches, and it is only in strength that any hope may be found. These guys probably want to burn down Ulthuan because it's Elftown, and I get that impulse, but this is my Ulthuan, and I am the only one who is allowed to burn it down. So we're going to have some words with these gentlemen when they come ashore.
Seen this one in my mirror.
Alright, Will the Treacherous is looking pretty tough. I guess Blacker Powder? Help him assassinate lords a little bit more effectively. And he is very, very close to being able to become immortal. The legendary Will the Treacherous. So how far out are those guys? They're... Wait, where were they? I don't remember. Whatever, doesn't matter. Huh, I really thought they were just north of me. They might be... here? Whatever. They'll show up when they show up. I'm honestly not that worried about them. Maybe this is overconfidence, and maybe I should be wary of that, having just lost an important lord to overconfidence. But the thing is, Celustra's very good at everything, so, you know, I'm less concerned than I maybe should be. Alright, let's talk about treasure maps. We're sending somebody toward that. We still haven't figured this one out. Okay, I guess if you're going to go treasure hunting, which I think you are, this is the direction. We've installed some good powerful ports, or some good powerful coves. We're making an awful lot of money off of that stuff. Pirate Cove income almost 6,000 gold per turn. We would not be positive without it, even with all of our territory. This faction's really cool. So if we knocked out Ghyll'n, Vale, and Evershale real quickly, we could have both of these forces rush the Phoenix Gate with Celostra to support them, and then we have a portal to the north part of the island so that we can hold off Chaos with our, sort of the full brunt of our might here. That may indeed be the way to go. What have I almost researched? I don't even remember what we're researching right now. Oh, Ship's Carpenter. Okay, yeah, actually a pretty good time for that. Get to remember to actually equip that follower, though. I probably want to take this next time we have a turn. Turn to just sit around. Do I want to just hit Ghyll'n Vale right now with the 40 units we have access to here? Probably, right? My suspicion is that this will not be a terribly difficult siege battle. They'll have dragons, and that I do have to worry about a little bit, but the solution to dragons, in general, is massed rifle fire, and these armies are certainly capable of massed rifle fire. Yeah, let's do it. Do I want to have Burke lead? My intention, my impression is obviously like, hey, let's have the higher level guy start the fight, but actually, with Robin's army being so much more ranged focused, I kind of want them in first. Plus, part of the value of this one is that this means that Burke Black's army is going to have a ton of movement left. He hardly has to move forward at all. To get to, like, here. Okay. And that'll mean Burke can turn around and head toward the gate and be available, like, almost immediately. Apparently, we could just auto-resolve this one. You know... Wow, what a weird garrison. This is actually a pretty bad garrison. Yeah, alright, we've seen the Elf Siege. We know what Elf Sieges look like. Let's just do this. Okay, yeah, Burke, somehow, a bunch of Burke's melee troops took a bunch of damage. I don't know how that would occur. But I feel fine skipping that. Lords over us, sir. Every single one of us. Also, we've got ourselves a Wand of Jet, which is pretty okay. I think we have one already that we're not using.
Potential.
You can get Monkey Jacket, because apparently you're going to be involved in melee combat quite a lot.
Good understudy.
Finish off Ravenous Attack for you. 3% extra missile resistance. Almost worthwhile on its own.
Who's who the real star is.
Alright, so now we have the Hunger. Okay, Robin Brown is now like a proper vampire. A proper fighting vampire.
Potential.
And Lenny Sealegs is so close to that level. Not only is level 20 important because of the fact that it's the level he has to be at for the objective, it means that we can't lose him once he gets there. We're so close to that wonderful threshold. And then I'm just going to move to about here. I'm going to stay on my side of the line so that I get full replenishment. We can certainly hit the gate with him next turn. One of these days, we're going to accidentally be close enough to that other treasure map location to just have it happen. And since we're sitting here, is there anything that is a single turn of recruitment that we actually need? No, not really. Oh, we could, however, upgrade this, which is probably a thing worth doing.
This isn't the god's victory. It's mine.
Okay, calm down. Do we want to increase our upkeep production by 5%? So at this point, that's 250 gold. What's the cost of that upgrade? It does pay for itself relatively quickly, but I think we're going to just keep banking the population. It's weird how all of her units look injured, but they're clearly at full health. I'm not sure what's going on with these these dead pixels in the health bars. So let's have a quick look at the newly owned areas. Safari is not happy. Solvable. And Avalorn, of course, is unhappy because we're conquering stuff there right now. Oh, it does have it has a unique main settlement that generates a ton of money, which I really like, obviously. Yeah, we're gonna have to build some public order and corruption buildings and stuff over here. Alright, let's see where those Chaos guys come in. Lothar is actually looking more powerful now than they did last turn relative to us, which tells me that that elf army on the western shore is actively recruiting. We're going to have to keep an eye on Tyrion because we definitely want to attack him the turn before we would start taking siege damage. I have no idea how many turns that is. It's usually about halfway through the siege timer, and the siege timer was at 13 turns, I think, when he made initial contact. Although, I guess we do have to, be wary of that secondary army coming up too, right? I don't want him to have reinforcements. If he ends up using this time to recruit a reinforcement army and brings it down and they smash Val's Anvil together, he will definitely make a play for Lothar that I don't want to have to put up with. Dwarves and the Greenskins are both powerful and perpetually at each other's throats, so I'm sure there's quite a lot of bloodshed over to the east. Also, a bunch of vampire nonsense happening. Yeah, let's just try to avoid the east, if we can. We might be able to win the game without without having to take any settlements on this continent, and that might be a good idea if we can pull it off. Seems like we might be stuck on Ulthuan for a little while here, though, because we are going to have to deal with all of these Chaos troops. I can't believe that treasure map about dangerous fauna was actually about the horses. I assumed it would be something in Trace, because Trace is where the giant magic white lions are from. But there aren't actually any white lions on the ground in the province. There's boars and stuff, but there's no white lion little like gizmos on the ground. So, Here we go. Servants of Chaos. This is the force that we saw that is currently at war with us. Okay, they were just a tiny bit to the north. So they're going to have to sail around these crappy islands. They're probably going to make landfall north of the Shrine of Cain. So maybe we don't have time to take the gate. I really want that gate. Alright, so grants the ship's carpenter follower to your faction. Here's a question. Does that grant one ship's carpenter to our faction? Or is it an infinite number? Can we have one on every lord? Let's take off one of these banners. One of the ones that... Yeah, that one. It's not very good. We will assign a ship's carpenter here. And then we will go over to Burke Black and see if he can also get one.
Favors this one.
He cannot. It's just the one. So we'll have to pass him around. But obviously, Silostra should have him as we approach the balcony, because balcony is not cheap.
Not a star like moi.
Alright, hold on. Let's have a look at these guys.
I think not.
Never mind. Apparently can't really look at them. They are not full-sized armies. Silostra can probably pick them off at the beach pretty effectively. So, like, we could get the Phoenix Gate. But maybe Silostra should turn around and just handle the situation, and we can worry about the gate afterward, or we can worry about the gate with these two armies. We do have to take Evershale. I would like to unite this province so that we can get the public order boost. Yeah, I think I'm going to have Silostra just turn around and head north.
This has my approval.
And I guess we'll go into treasure hunt mode a bunch while we're doing this. God, look at how awesome that crab is.
Onward, stagehands!
Nope, that is not where... What does the clue even say? I don't remember anymore. The scrawls etched by ancients long thought lost. So it's probably something like this, maybe? I don't know if these waystones... I guess these waystones must be from long ago Elven society, or like this... No, that's just a graveyard. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's one of these doodads on the ground that looks like ruins. But who knows which one? There's so many of them everywhere. Alright, Eve. Aha! Star Tower. We have found the other part of Lothern. So remember, Lothern has to be eliminated from the game. That's one of our objectives. So we're going to have to send a navy down here anyway to deal with that. So, of the major world things that we have to own, Lothern, Ghyll'n, Vale, and Hexawatl. Okay, Itza is down here. That's the only one of those that's down here, though. Yeah, that's a shame. Nagorond is up here, I think. I don't know where the Awakening is. Oh, the Awakening's right there. Okay. So we can actually get quite a few. We have to control 10 of these. So we can get over halfway on the western continent. But then we are going to have to go and get involved in the nonsense to the east. It's unfortunate.
Astride the waves. Oh, my friend.
So what is the base cost for the balcony? 12,000. So it'll only be 6,000 with that guy equipped. That's actually not bad at all. We make that almost every turn. Okay, what else? Physical resistance up for the Necrofex Colossus. You know, once we get this, it might be more worthwhile to start using Rotting Promethean gunnery mobs. We really haven't... Honestly, I haven't even really given them their proper test. Salvaged Arsenal is... Yeah, not really that great. We kind of have all the good stuff already. A little bit. You know? Armor-piercing damage up by 10% for the Necrofex Colossus. I suppose we have a number of buffs that weren't good before that will now be good because we have the Colossus. Yeah, sure. Let's improve the quality of his shot. The Shrine of Cain doesn't really need anything in particular. We should probably just get some upgrades. Hold on. We should buy stuff in this province, right? Well, let's finish uniting it. I guess we're gonna have the Phoenix Gate. I'm gonna try to take it with these two armies together.
Admiral.
So this guy just needs to run over here, and Burke will attack Avershale this turn.
I'll order it.
This should be a nice, easy one.
Cleanse them of life. Plunder this place.
So now we have that province. We can issue a commandment to everybody have a good time. Everybody just really party. We'll build some scurvy dog pits, and of course, a plunder pile for later, and probably dead pirate totems, or, you know what, garrison buildings. Garrison buildings everywhere because, you know, unpredictable rebellions. You can never tell what the living will get up to. They're an ornery lot. Every time you cast, get more magic. Yeah, sure. We'll take the life leeching bonus here, and then probably we'll go back to focusing on the blue line. I'm not super wild about running him up the magic line. I just think it's going to take too long for it to get to the really good stuff. And now that Lenny's dead, we don't have anybody with lightning strike anymore. So Burke can be the guy who has lightning strike. All right. Let's see what these crazy Chaos Warriors do. I may have made it difficult for them to land on the beach, actually, by being here, which is probably bad. I want them to land on the beach because I want to fight them. I want to get this over with. Oh, Teclis. That is the legendary lord of the Order of the Loremasters faction. Oh, I forgot to move the guy out of Ghyll'n Vale. Well, apparently we're not going after the gate. We're going to have a real battle on our hands over here. Yeah, we haven't seen Teclis yet. He was down south at the Star Tower the whole game. I don't know what he was doing. Probably fighting Skaven a lot, is my guess. Because the Skaven faction down here is still going strong. Man, we're probably going to have to fight them for the Awakening, I bet. Or maybe we'll just have to fight Luther Harkon. He's over there as well. We've been able to pretty much ignore the sort of the larger geopolitical situation. But that time is coming to an end. Now we have to know stuff about the outside world because we have to go out there and conquer. I'm a little worried about the number of factions that I'm seeing that are showing up as more powerful than we are as well. It does seem like our army has a... I don't know if we have like a... auto-resolve penalty or what, but it does seem like we've had to fight a lot of battles that I would have thought would go very easily for us. So it might be the case that the balance of power bar just underestimates the strength of our units, and those other armies are not really more powerful than us. But it also might be the fact that they're running like 7 stacks, and we're just in grave danger if we go over into their territory. Although, you know, when I say we're in grave danger, what I mean is our rate of progress is in grave danger. We're certainly not going to lose the game or anything. Well, I'm reasonably sure that belonged to Bretonia last turn, so that's interesting. Oh, they're headed to Tor Enlek instead. Okay, they're gonna, like, fan out and attack a bunch of different places. That's annoying. Well, we can get in the water and challenge them on the sea. Actually, we're probably going to do better challenging them on the sea. Puppets of Chaos are over here attacking somebody else. Okay, this is a real somebody else sort of problem. In fact, if they want to burn down all of Lothern's holdings out here so that Lothern is eliminated when we remove them from Ulthuan, that would be just fine. Tim Fenn should probably get that one level of gun sight that has the range bonus on it. And then let's move our heroes around. So where... It's like all the way down. Do not look upon sorrowful gods, for where Isha's tears fall and swell, the secret you seek shall reside. Okay, there is a beach over here where we can get on land. What is all this noise? This is a faction I don't recognize. What are you?
Sorceress of the Dark Convent.
Huh. dark elves. And angry Skaven, and yeah, it's gonna be a mess. This jungle over here is always just like an absolute thunderdome. You know, she could do some drive-by unit assaulting as she's headed over to our other treasure hunt sites. Alright, do we have the range? We do not have the movement range to actually threaten any of these units right now. Alicia is probably just in trouble. We can get in defense range of Tor Anlek, so I guess we will. Oh. Right, you can just take the most direct path. I know that it's usually faster to go along the road, but you're really walking a long way to do that. Alright, and over here we gotta talk about Teclis. So, Teclis is a little bit less powerful of a sword fighter than his brother Tyrion, but he is a very, very powerful wizard. He's also somehow, here on turn 104, level 8. Don't really know how that happens. But unfortunately, the fact that I forgot to move Robin at the end of the turn is going to make things a little bit more difficult than I would like. What we could do here is just really hard force march, and then... Oh, Burke, I was gonna say, and then Burke can go into ambush mode, but right, he's a legendary pirate with a giant ghost ship that follows him around, so it's pretty hard to hide that. Well... I guess we can't really do anything over here this turn. We could ride out and try to just fight them. They do only have 21 units. Whitefire Tor is a couple spears, a couple of archers. You know, Burke might be able to just take them. But I see no reason to, right? We could do this next turn and have a much better... Not just a much better shot, but have it be more likely that we will both beat him and come out pretty healthy. Alright, so the next priority for Burke is probably just leveling up his cabin the rest of the way, I guess? Yeah. That'll make it easier to grow the population for everything else. We'll unlock the cabin the rest of the way, then we'll do this, then we'll get other stuff. And as soon as Silastra constructs her balcony, I'll pop the shipwright over to him. We have 5,000 gold. With which to do what? Apparently, public order here is actually in a pretty good place. So, I suppose we could swap this over to vampiric corruption, but also we don't really need to. I guess I'm losing infamy all the time, but I'm also gating infamy all the time. So, who cares? Yeah, whatever. So then, am I really just passing the turn with 5,000 gold? That doesn't feel right. We're still several turns off of Silastra's thing. I guess, do I want to recruit a new lord over here just for the purpose of breaking the siege as effectively as possible? That's going to completely destroy my income, but we would fire the guy shortly afterward. I just kind of want to bring him over here and, like, fill his army with garbage and then bum rush Tyrion so that we can begin to pressure the western side of the thing again. Yeah, I think that's probably an okay thing to do. Very temporarily. So let's recruit a lord. Doesn't really matter who, just needs to be somebody who has high loyalty so he doesn't suddenly turn on us. Samuel Fenn, the murderer of death. Samuel Fenn, death murderer. I like it. Welcome to the party. Samuel Fenn, death murderer. Alright, let's grab some of these and some of those. And one of these. And some of those. I mean, it's just bodies, really. Sure, everybody from the Raised Deadpool, get in here. Alright, so next turn, with 13 units in his employ, Samuel Fenn charges Tyrion, and then we'll completely overwhelm him with garbage units. Yeah, this is gonna be good. And hopefully Silastra will get to start picking these guys off, because we do not have all day. We have other things going on, Chaos. I don't have time for you. It's nice to have all of our land be in such high spirits, though. Avalorn is the only place that's really still suffering, and a lot of that is that we just took it, and we haven't had time to complete the buildings yet. Alright. I assume that we're not going to see anything crazy out of Ulthuan here. Teclis is putting together a pretty large force. I would be worried if he was up against just one of my armies, but the fact that Burke Black has undying backup makes me feel like this is just going to be a speed bump at worst. I am pretty curious what the Chaos armies over on this side of the world are going to do. This guy hates me, huh? I mean, everybody kind of hates me. The curse is a big deal. I think it's reducing my... Yeah, it's not listed on here. But I thought the curse was reducing my diplomatic standing with everybody by like 40 points or something. We'll look at the debuff again on our turn. Maybe I'm misremembering. Here's the thing about playing a lot of games all at once that have kind of similar mechanics, is that sometimes, somehow, a thing that is actually in one game gets crossed over in my head into one of the other games I'm playing. I've definitely have that problem with mechanics sometimes. In the Endless Legends series episode I recorded yesterday, I made an alliance with somebody, and then like it didn't affect their diplomatic status with everybody else the way I was expecting, because I was remembering how alliances work in both this game and Endless Space 2, but not in Endless Legend. There's this big Norscan army. They managed to take Albion. I really, really hope they don't disrupt any of our ports in Bretonnia. They can inhabit those places. They won't necessarily burn them down, but even if they just take them over, it's going to reduce the amount of money we're making. This Clark Carend is a Dark Elf force. I don't know what their deal is or where they're from. Are there Dark Elves all the way up here? Maybe. I kind of thought this whole... like, this is the basic Norscan area. Not really sure what's going on up here right now. And we're probably going to have to find out, because like I said, Nagorond is a powerful capital we can take that is relatively isolated from a lot of the other nonsense that's going on in the world. Oh, you came ashore. Thank God. It is time for Silostra to test out that Necrofex Colossus. On, burn down the Star Tower. You know you want to. Do it. Honestly, the Star Tower might be the only settlement they have over there. We could make a reasonable guess. Grey Herds. Oh, that's, like, very much not my problem. So let's see here. Hold on. We'll just count real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 settlements left showing on this continent. And Ulthuan is shown as having 10 total settlements. Did I miscount something? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, okay, somehow. I counted the 9 settlements here as 10. So yeah, the Star Tower is then their only settlement off of Ulthuan. Well, it would be really cool if somebody else would deal with that, so I don't have to come down there. I mean, I have to come down there eventually anyway, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Alright, let's kill some Chaos Nerds. These guys are in March mode, too. There's no escape. Apparently, we're going to take the scenic route. Krabby wanted to swing by the bridge. He loves the bridge. Oh, really? Alright, well, I don't disagree. This army's pretty bad. I was surprised by that. Chaos Warhounds are terrible. That said, actually, we're probably the force they're best against. Because we have a lot of lightly armored troops that are bad at melee combat, and these guys are fast. But we also have Silostra and Robert and the Ghost Women, who will absolutely murder these guys. They have a Hell Cannon, which is scary. And we're going to manually fight it. To be clear, this is our first opportunity to see the Necrofex Colossus in action, so we're going to take it. In this situation, actually, the better thing to do from a just trying to win perspective would be to auto-resolve this battle, because we get this victory basically for free. But we're going to do this manually, because I want to see our Necrofex Colossus in action. We are going to take some damage from that Hell Cannon. We're going to have to deal with that. Robert should be pretty good at handling it, though. They have some Chaos Knights, which are pretty scary. Anything that can actually get into our gun line is potentially dangerous. These Chaos Knights I'm less worried about. These guys are just, you know, they're very similar to White Lions in their application, which is to say that mostly what they're going to be applied to is a wall of gunfire. The Sirens should be pretty good here. I think we could probably post up. Oof. I don't like all the unevenness in the trees. This definitely is terrain that favors people who are not me. I think we'll go up here. As is often the case, I don't like. There's not really a reason for me to come to them. They have to fight this on my terms, because we will tear them apart with the Queen Bess if they don't. How do I want to... Actually, do I want to make this line interspersed range and melee? Probably not in this case, because there's so little available space. Probably best to have our melee just, like, nearby. So we'll have the polearms on this side. And I'll fan them out a little bit, just to try to prevent cavalry charge. We'll also have Robert on that side to help thwart a cavalry charge. So Lustra can be more over here. And then all of the other melee can just kind of hang out on this side, which is where I expect most of their stuff will be incoming from. Oh, hey, let's have a look at our new buddy. Oh, let me get this out of the way. That is so cool. I am way, way into this. There's a bunch of guys with guns mounted on it. It's a golem made out of a couple pieces of a broken pirate ship and just, like, general crustacean bits kind of winding it all together. Dude in the nest with a sniper rifle. Yeah, this is okay. We're gonna post this guy up over here. I guess near the other artillery. What's his firing range look like? That's a proper fire. That's a proper artillery fire cone. Maybe this is how we're gonna deal with the hell cannons. Just Necrofex Colossus them. So I definitely want him facing this way. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Let's rock. So... yeah, I guess we're already firing. May as well start with the Enchanted Ballistics. Now, our man here needs direct line of sight to fire his artillery thing. He is a cannon, not a mortar. So actually, those Chaos Knights are going to be in direct line of sight pretty soon. Oh. He sees him. He's thinking about it. Is it time? They're not... hold on, they're not quite over the hill yet. This is taking longer than I thought it was going to. You can see the size of the Queen Bess shot from here. Jesus, Queen Bess. Hell Cannon completely missed. Where is that Hell Cannon? It's all the way over there. I'm going to let them keep coming forward a little bit, and then Robert's going to ride out and do what needs to be done. God, I love mortars. And I really, really don't like cannons in general. A missile monster. I think he might be the first, oh, that hardly even did any damage. Thing's no Queen Bess. Oh, here we go. Okay, alright. Listen, he's low rank. He needs a little time to work things out. Queen Bess is already running out of ammo. Alright, I think they're probably committed enough that Robert can ride around. Here come the dogs and stuff. Starting to think the, oh, nope. It can fire while moving. That's very good. I told the wrong unit to move. Hold on, sorry. Sorry, I got confused. These guys over here are going to want to form up a little bit more like this. Let's try to make it hard for the dogs and knights to just ride around. We probably ought to just have Celestra charge them, honestly. She could get over there and just kill the whole lot of them. We have a Chaos Sorcerer Lord. I'm happy to see that. Their Lord is actually not a very powerful unit. I'm going to have the gun line reform a little bit, though, I think. I think we're not quite facing the right direction here. That shouldn't take too long. Actually, I'm going to have Celestra ride out. Let's do this. Oh, right. It's been so long since I fought a non-siege battle with her. I forgot we could just, like, summon guys to handle this, too. So I'm going to wait to summon the crabs until we're actually in combat. But the knights can just go, because they're good at their jobs. You just try to hold him still so that Silostra can get in there. Right, those dogs will be dead pretty fast here. We can use some of our cannon abilities. This should really do a number on those dogs, I think. We may as well start casting songs and hands and whatnot. Just press all of the buttons. All of the buttons now can be pressed. Some crabs in there. God, Silostra's army is fun to play with. We have so many like cool toys. So I want you to ride to approximately here and then just go. He's got that under control. I have no doubt in my mind. We could probably have the depth guard move up a little bit here. But I think these knights are about to get the gun line. Yep. Just completely shredded. We have, in fact, stopped the dogs from approaching, and I think at this point we probably want to just charge the Chaos Warriors. There is a unit of Chaos Warriors with halberds that I have to be a little bit aware of, but honestly, I'm not sure even they could take Silostra. She's very powerful. Let's grab these guys. It turns out probably we do not need this much army to deal with this charge over here. We'll reform a little bit in a position where we can attack over here. You're doing a good job of holding everybody in place. Grab them up good. I'm going to have Silostra just run over here. And the gun line's doing the gun line thing. Those dogs are breaking rapidly. Robert is on a mission. Pop all of your buffs. Make it happen. Okay, the artillery crew's in a lot of trouble. And of course we turn around and this thing's happening, because that's always the thing that's happening. Get him! Show those dogs who's boss. Did they... Did they mob up all of their melee around Silostra? Oh, I don't think this is a good idea. Let's make some crabs. Yeah, I think they're gonna be very disappointed with the outcome of this strategy. We got some sirens on there. I mean, we should ride in, right? We should fight. Yeah, I guess. Everybody get in over there. Somebody should assassinate their lord, probably. Since we've broken all of their melee troops on this side, I'm going to have Will just go and shoot their lord. I think that should be very doable. And then, I mean, we have this cannon shot. We may as well use it. And that looks pretty good. I think that'll just miss Silostra. That should mess those guys up pretty badly. Like, Robert has almost finished his job. Crabs, get him. Oh, ha! Forgot all about my shanty. They're trying with the dogs. They're doing their best to get in on me. This thing is awesome. You know what I like a lot about Total War Warhammer? How just big and silly and ridiculous. Like, this game is dumb in exactly the way I love for things to be dumb. This is good. Even just stomping around firing his big old cannon arm. Don't get distracted now. You have a job. I should probably be paying attention to Silostra. She has buttons to press all the time. Give me some knights over here. So, as you might imagine, we are winning over here. I can't imagine what compelled them to send all of their units at Silostra. Probably the AI is just like, oh look, the enemy lord is out there by itself. Kill. Okay. Cannon crew is dead. We are not winning. Okay, there it is. I'm gonna say, usually when you have completely routed, when you see the enemy force break and rout and you aren't winning, it's because some unit on the enemy side is unbreakable and won't retreat. You'll have to actually kill it. Loss is 20. Alright. It's possible that we got a better result there than we would have from the auto-resolve. That's a very sad outcome for our enemies. And so the first thing I looked for was the Hell Cannon, because I know the Hell Cannon crew is unbreakable. But apparently Robert did his job and then just kind of sat around. I forgot to give him new orders. The Hell Cannon crew is unusually good at fighting for an artillery crew. Still not like a real unit, but pretty good at fighting. So sometimes it takes a long time to kill them. Robert's real good at his job, though. No two ways about that. So now that we've broken that down, we're not going to be able to reach the other Chaos Army that made landfall, but we can at least get over there in that direction. I am very eager to apply this Necrofex Colossus as many times as we can. This is such a cool unit. I feel really bad that it took me so long to get one. But hey, we'll be able to make lots of use of it during Phase 3. I'm not sure how much of a defensive force we're going to have to leave behind on Ulthuan, because, you know, we are at war with a lot of people. A lot of distant forces declared on us for no reason, and we will have to be able to defend ourselves against them, potentially. But also, Ulthuan's pretty defensible. It's not going to take a lot of bodies. Let's see, what do I think these guys are going to do? I think these guys are going to run to Elysia, probably, and just attack it, and probably burn it. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do much about that. What I can do is get down the road a little bit and try to punish them afterward.
Captain, reporting.
Yeah, I think this chaos invasion is under control. So we want to be pretty much at the bottom of the map. Yeah, come make landfall down here. The Mangrove Coast. These are probably not actually empty, is my guess. These are probably Skaven settlements. You know what? Dig for treasure. Okay. It was worth a try.
On deck.
That could have been a treasure location. You know what I actually want her to do right now is to go north of these islands and see what happened to the rest of this faction. It might be the case that some of them sailed down to fight us and the others sailed over here. And if that's the case, then I want to know where they are and what they're doing.
All bones on deck.
Okay, we got this battle with Teclis to worry about over here. We got to do this thing. Hold on. Let's do this thing first. So, I guess we just grab everything that's in the pool. It's just bodies, really. It looks to me like we're going to be able to get just close enough to provide reinforcements this turn. I think so. Maybe not. Maybe that's like a single point of movement too far away. Nope. That's good. Okay, so ordinarily, I would say let's engage with, you know, this army, but I think if she attacks, it might cancel her recruitment that she's one turn into. So when an army is pressed up against your settlement for siege, you can actually engage with the garrison. I think that's what we do here. So that this army is not moving, quote unquote moving, and so that its recruitment will finish, because that's what I really want those mortars in there. Mortars are awesome.
Attack.
Okay, he fled. He decided that this battle was not, in fact, in his best interest. Okay, we'll pursue him back to Torsus Thigh or something. Handle him there. And over here, we should probably take down Teclis.
Admiral of the fleet.
So who leads that battle? It should probably be Burke, right? I think that the other guy's army is a little bit more powerful generally, but they're also very vulnerable.
I refuse.
I guess there's not really that much cavalry here, though. Whose army do I think is better at standing against Teclis while the other one shows up as reinforcements? Whitefire Tor doesn't have any real cavalry in their garrison. It's mostly, it's mostly terrible units. Honestly, I think it's this guy. This guy leads the attack. So let's get Burke into reinforcement position.
Blood
Because this is mostly going to be a battle of shooting them as they approach.
Slaves, cattle,
He's got Lenny Sea Legs in his army. It's vitally important that Lenny Sea Legs not die here.
and so
Okay, this is going to devastate my forces if I manually resolve, or if I auto-resolve it. So let's have this be the climax of this episode. We've done some good work here. We had a little setback with the Chaos Forces spawning. I forgot that was a thing. I sort of didn't think that we were going to be beholden to the basic campaign mechanics, you know? Let me think. I think that our reinforcement army is going to come in from the back right corner, given our positioning. It might come in from, like, just clean behind us, though. It looks to me like this is a large, flat plain, so we probably want our gun line, like, over here. We're going to be outranged slightly by the sisters, so we are going to have to set up in a position where we can afford to move forward. And we're going to get hit by this a lot. I don't think I'll bother firing my mortars at it. I think it's more important to fire the mortars at the sisters as they approach. I'm going to break them down as much as possible. So we're being reinforced from back there. What we could do is we could just set up our gun line over here. And then compel them to come forward with massed mortar fire, because we'll be able to put up 4 mortars. Honestly, that sounds pretty good. Make them come all the way across all of this stuff. Yeah, look at that terrain. That's flat enough. Okay. We'll just have, we'll have Burke reinforcing directly into our army. I guess, actually, the mortars aren't going to be a threat from back here. Yeah, maybe we should start far enough forward that the mortars can fire into the... Wow, that was a good gamble. We should probably start far enough forward that the mortars can be firing immediately. Deep enough into their deep enough into their zone that that we're actually dealing damage. So honestly, we probably have to start like pretty much all the way up. That's fine. We really don't have enough melee to deal with the cavalry charge. They have 1 unit of proper cavalry. They also have Illyrian Reaver archers who are not real cavalry, but they can just, you know, go to swords and charge you. They don't have to stand back and shoot. So we want Robin Brown in a place where he can respond quickly to horses. He's got to be kind of in the middle of the force. You can be on this side, maybe a little back, just so that you don't get Sister of Avalorn fire focused on you. And the Gunnery White, of course, stands over here to buff the artillery. Yeah, alright. I think this is how we do this. Let's make sure that the artillery have picked Sisters of Avalorn. Nope, that's archers. There we go. Get some Sisters of Avalorn as your targets. Okay. Happy hunting, everyone. And we have an awful lot of guns to turn on any problem that might actually threaten us. The Sirens are actually fast enough to get up here and be a part of the battle, which is nice. Boy, it brings the units in and lets you issue orders to them long before you can actually select them in the bar. I didn't realize what the delay was. I guess it's popping the characters over here, and I'm not noticing. Here's what's happening. That is artillery fire that we can't really do much about. We could try to shoot down their artillery with our artillery, but I think we're much better off thinning out the archers so that the gun line's not really in much danger. Bolt throwers do not do a huge amount of damage, in my experience. They're just, they're not explosive, you know? It's a real problem. And keep in mind that we can heal off a lot of artillery fire with the invocation. They're still nowhere near close enough to actually fire at us with arrows yet. We're just trading artillery fire, which I am fine with. Just kind of getting generally up toward them. Alright. Normal invocation to replenish. Oh, it looks like their archers are planting their feet. No, okay, they're not. Don't really know where I want all these extra rifles yet. My suspicion is they're going to have to do a bit of, like, flanking and fanning, so just kind of get them over here generally. Boy, they really are taking their time on this approach. Alright, here comes gun range. Gun range is going to be unkind to them. Well, let's make sure that we are grabbing the units back here. This gunnery mob, I'm just going to have them kind of charge. And these guys don't actually have to roll forward very much because of the fact that we're about to join melee lines. We'll have them move up to, like, here. By the time they get up here, they'll be in firing range. I am not remembering to press the buttons over here on Mr. Fenn. And I'm going to have these gunners on this side move up a little bit. It looks to me like they're not really... Okay, these guys already have fire range. This shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to try to keep the keep these guys back for the moment. Let's have the normal deckhands just charge units of archers. I think that heal is pretty effective. Yep, and here's where it gets really ugly for the approaching elves. I have no compunction about sacrificing mobs of normal deckhands. That's totally fine. We are going to Spirit Leech their heroes. Okay, let's make some tactical decisions here. We definitely want to get the rest of the melee actually into combat. So, Sirens should be able to just ride through and gut these spearmen. Shouldn't be a problem. Somebody's got to stop those swordmasters in place. Looks like the Phoenix Guard are mostly getting wrecked already. We could just have this unit of Sirens move way forward. I'm going to have this unit of Sirens move to here, actually, because they're going to try to fly their eagles in and do all kinds of nonsense, and I don't want to have to deal with it. That's what the Haunters can do while they're hanging out back here. And then these other units of deckhands just need to charge all the way in. Make it happen. A couple units of handguns that can just start working the eagle over now. Honestly... These two should probably try to kill the Silverhelms right now while they're presenting themselves to us in a way that allows us to kill them without having actually hit any of my good dudes. And yeah, all right. Getting some good breakdown over here. Probably ought to aim for the Swordmasters next. This is going really well. I mean, not that I thought it was going to go poorly. It's going a little bit even better than I thought. So are you guys all the way forward? Did you get... Yeah, that is the position I told them to get in. I was wrong. I want them a little bit further forward because I want them to be able to fire into the enemy archer line. Alright. "7 seconds until we can invoke again." Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, he's on a mount now. I do not, in fact, want him to engage with those spears. Alright, we're losing some guys that I don't care too much about. Help fight him. Really, you guys didn't have move orders? Alright, we can definitely fight enemy characters. Probably don't need sirens on that guy. Alright, now the mortars are far enough forward to help with the enemy ranged. This flank of gunners probably wants to flank even more. These guys should rush the archers. Okay. Good. Mostly, a lot of my units are mostly about holding the enemies in place.
Fleet Admiral!
A whole lot of you need to get over here. Don't worry so much about that. That one eagle, he is under control. Yep, so we just kind of fold our formation around them as they back up. Something tells me this is about to be over. I should have used my miscast chance reducer at some point here. Where's an enemy character I can shoot magic at? That guy. That enemy character right there. You know, their lord. Alright, their ranged is collapsing, which is fantastic for me. It means that we can do this. And just shoot right into the back of all of them. Send a couple units of bodies over here. Yeah, these guys are about to be very unhappy. 13 seconds on the invocation. You know, you could like actually come over here and fight somebody. Fight an archer or something. You do not have to be afraid. Finish that eagle off real fast. Kind of surprised any of their units are still standing. I would not keep fighting under these circumstances. Yeah, man, when you have enough units of guns, when you can bring like 30 units of rifles to a fight, you just like line up, cut the ends off their formation, and then fold your formation in around them as they reach your melee. It's very difficult to survive. Obviously, you're going to have some friendly fire there. That's definitely a real concern. But, you know, most of our guys could take a couple of bullets and be okay, I think. I mean, as okay as they were before. You might argue that they showed up to the battle not okay. But they're certainly not any worse for the wear. A couple of musket rounds in them. So this is Teclis dead. Tyrion's going to be dead next turn. They're going to have actually no units left, and at this point, fewer than a dozen settlements remaining. As soon as Silostra's done cleaning up chaos, we can finish them off. And then we have to start plotting. So we're gonna try and take all of the major settlements in the west, because that should be easy to do without getting ourselves engaged in a dozen hell wars that last forever. And then we have to turn our eyes to the east and figure out which settlements are the ones we can take while angering the smallest number of people. Because man oh man, do I not want to have to defend myself against like 10 factions worth of armies just suicide rushing me over and over again. Okay, that was pretty good. That is a good amount of money.
Make yourselves at home.
Also, Winds of Magic Power Reserve up for defeating Teclis. That's honestly, Power Reserve plus 10 is not great.
Blood and plunder.
Not one of the better Legendary Lord traits, unfortunately. Okay, so you have all of this stuff. Drowned Dead lets us summon a unit of zombie pirate gunnery mobs. What is the difference between the normal and the upgraded? Huh. Not super clear on what the difference is with the upgraded version. When you buy the upgraded version, you do get one more use. But these are normal gunnery mobs, the pistol ones that are not any good, so. Yeah, let's get some Chaos Fleet stuff. Some Ghost Fleet stuff, rather. And you still have lots of movement left. I guess we could just finish taking the inside of the island. I was gonna fall back and worry about gates and stuff, but maybe we worry about gates afterward.
Overland.
So Burke Black probably does not want to buy any more ship buildings for the moment, because of the fact that he's gonna receive the ship construction cost guy soon. So yeah, we just won't have him build anything for the next, like, 4 turns. In 3 turns, she'll get this, and then it takes 1 turn for the guy to transfer over. So, with 7,300 gold, we probably actually do want to be a little bit careful with it, since until we until we get rid of this extra army here, we're actually kind of poor. We have enough right now to handle Silostra's needs, so we'll worry about that then. Not spend any money. I would like the end turn button to pop up, please. Let us run one final set of enemy turns here, and then very curious what these Chaos guys will do. They might not have the movement range to reach Elysia in a single turn. Oh, Ulthuan's sailing up ships from the southeast. Why did they have a navy to the southeast? What on earth is down there for them? Maybe they were trying to threaten the Galleon's graveyard or something? Well, I mean, it's not a threat, really. It's a small enough force that it should be easy for, honestly, maybe even this 4th army to just pick it off. And I'm noticing that I don't see a lot of those Chaos ships anymore. Did they get dealt with already? Or did they simply sail to a place where I can't see them? So once we deal with Tyrion, and then potentially this other weird little Lothern army that's sailing up, I'm probably just going to completely disband the 5th army, I guess it is, down there. We don't actually need that force. I just wanted to use numbers to push Tyrion back. But honestly, we're at the point now where it's not unreasonable to think Lothern could be, or Ulthuan could be completely conquered next episode. If I'm being honest, I'm eager to be done with it. These elves have held on for far too long. I guess probably not completely conquered next episode, because we're going to be able to auto-resolve a lot of the battles, but probably not the gate battles. We'll probably have to actually fight those. So it might be 2 episodes. And yes, I'm aware, even as I'm saying it, that that's the kind of thing that somebody's going to quote to me in the comments 6 episodes from now when we're still desperately trying to get a hold on this thing. Optimism is not my usual flavor, but I will indulge in it a little bit this once. We're going to be done conquering Ulthuan. 2 episodes. It's going to happen. There's a lot of these minor factions that have been hanging on for a really long time with actually no armies. Like the Bleakholds still have all this territory, even. The Balance of Power bar has shown them having actually 0 military strength for, at this point, a really long time, it feels like. But I guess everybody else is just too busy to attack them? It's kind of weird that they haven't filled in any of the space to the north of us. All of that is still sitting empty. He wasn't quite able to reach Elysia. How unfortunate for him. Ragnar Balefire and his dudes are... Okay. They are still over here. Apparently, they're planning to come and fight Dark Elves, and they're losing. Wow, that looked like a big battle that they just lost there. Oh no, harsh weather has caused severe damage to our timber reserves. Well, I am not currently down with the fleet suffers. You know, this is only a 3-turn debuff. This doesn't matter. Avalorn is about to rebel. Well, that's this one, right? I guess we'll have to turn one of the armies around. That's not a big deal. This is all very solvable. I think, though, that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when we will halfway or more finish the task of conquering Ulthuan. And we'll see you then.